this has been such a season of giving, right? That you go from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and how beautiful it is to think that perhaps the seeds that we're planting in this podcast is a continuous giving. It's a continuous giving. It's not just a season of taking or exchange what didn't fit or we didn't like it, but creating more giving.
Welcome to Coach Soul, the podcast where we explore therapeutic ways to the best versions of ourselves. I'm your host, Steve Hudgins. I'm a licensed professional counselor dedicated to helping you navigate life's challenges. In each uplifting episode, we'll discuss mental health, relationships, self-care, emotional well-being, and personal growth. Join me and with my co-host, Kenya Evelyn, a therapeutic life coach, where sometimes we'll even welcome special guests to our show that share their experience and expertise. So let's embark on this transformative path together and discover a healthier and happier you. Well, Kenya, Christmas is over. And the thing is that, the trees are vacant. They feel naked underneath because there's no presents to support it. The lights are going to start twinkling off because the New Year's just right around the corner. 4 days of December is left, including today, and then you have New Year's. Does Christmas I feel like the Grinch has stolen Christmas because now we open all our presents and where's our joy? Where's our, I don't know. Where do you go from here?
I just love this question so much. I'm envisioning our listeners right now just, exhausted, belly filled of pies and excited about the gifts they received, looking forward to exchange the gifts that didn't serve or didn't fit. And, off mic, we were talking about this has been such a season of giving, right? That you go from Thanksgiving to Christmas, and how beautiful it is to think that perhaps the seeds that we're planting in this podcast is a continuous giving. It's a continuous giving. It's not just a season of taking or exchange what didn't fit or we didn't like it, but creating more giving. Anytime I give, anytime you give, and I joyfully receive,
yes,
it creates this wave of love. And what is Cultured Soul if not dripping in love? We love our Savior. We love our family. We love each other. And in this coming year, there's so much uncertainty, Steve. Can you feel it? Like there's so much uncertainty. I feel like every year there's a wave of, what is it going to be? And perhaps my intention is that it will be a great year of love and giving, if I choose to see it that way. And if I start planting right now the seeds of gratitude. Don't save gratitude for Thanksgiving next year. It will take you literally 11 months. I know it's a long answer, so back to you, Steve.
Well, when you think about, there's two ways that we can look at the end of the closure of the year. For some, it's been unhappiness and heartbreak, and some has been treasures of blessings. Some's been a mixture. And when I think about Christmas lights, they shine in a place of darkness. And it seems after the lights come down and we begin into a new year, we do that on New Year's. The light bulb goes down the pole and then the lights disappear. Where's our focus after Christmas? Where's our focus that we can look at instead of what we didn't get or we're unhappy with the gifts that we don't exchange, things are closing, et cetera, et cetera. Where are ways that we can be able to keep the joy year round? I tease my girlfriend and saying, Thanksgiving first, please, before we get into Christmas. Thanksgiving, as she says, is a holiday. Christmas is a season. So for her, Christmas is every year, every day for her. And, when you actually think about that, it's what ways can we shift our focus to have the joy and being able to be content even when the world seems dark. We're getting to mushy grounds now with, new people being sworn into our government. We think the economy is this or that, or we overspend it on gifts. What are some things that we can give to our listeners to give them some hope, the joy of this new year, 2026, that it's the shift of focus? And what I've learned in this 2025 is that I'm changing the way I do therapy. In other words, I don't like that expression, let it go. Because how do we let go of trauma? We can't. Well, people say, well, I keep thinking about it. Okay, so there's your shift in focus. And the way I'm thinking about therapy is we can't take it out of us, the wounds that have had, but it's our shift in focus and how we look at it. Do we let it define us, or do we rise and above? Last year or this last month, I had written a song because of my father's passing and the treatment of my family, that I wrote a song that says you can't take the fight out of the man. And when you think we come to a close of a year, take that fight into 2026. It may seem doom and gloom, but if we focus on the worm in the apple, then we're not going to have any joy.
Yeah.
What do you think about the shift of focus and being able to look at not taking the fight out in us, but keeping the fight and building? And as we said off mic, I did my emotional push-ups. That helps us to keep stronger for the next event.
Yes, 100%. Well, I love everything you said. And I also want to remind our listeners that the reason that our podcast work is because we have a feminine perspective and we have a masculine perspective. The shift of focus is all there is. Rather is in therapy, psychology, human behavior, emotional intelligence, leadership, mentoring, frequency work. Shifting focus is shifting frequency. So if I keep thinking about something that I don't have control over, I'll spiral down. And then my emotions consume me. So shifting focus means that I can be having a flood of thoughts, and then a lifelong friend calls, and I'm like, oh my gosh, so glad you called. Just like that. Am I right or am I right? Or your cute puppy does something adorable, and you just like, it just shifting is as quick as a wink. So I actually have, talking about emotional push-ups, I have a list of positive triggers around me that helps me to shift. I have pictures in the refrigerator that brings me joy and makes me feel, oh my gosh, they were so little, so cute. And, it really works when you're upset with your children, Bring you back to the root of the connection. And I really want to highlight that word. There's so much fake connection through gifts in this season. And I say that because I'm not saying that it is in our awareness. I'm saying in our unawareness, the effort to connect. You like a girl, so you give her a little something, you make an extra effort. There's a lot of healing taking place. There's a lot of forgiveness takes place, but there's also a lot of shallowness happening because of our wounded hearts. And now I want to go back to what you said about fight. Maybe works for a man, but not for a woman. I do not want to start 2026 with my soul on fire fighting because I'm going to attract war. And I'm not here to fight. I'm here to flow. I'm here to co-create. I'm here to walk side by side with my husband and you and the peer group that I chose. And I'm also open to receive more people that God has in 2026. New clients, new friends, new new collaborations, new sponsorships. I don't know what I don't know, but I am open. So I love your shift from therapy of letting go, because that word feels so vague. Let's just be honest. Let go, just let go. Elsa, let it go, let it go. Okay, how? When you
Right.
are in deep spiral, and Ken is not on speed dial, or Steve is not on speed dial. What if somebody's in a moment of depression, anxiety, and it's like, I don't know how to let go. It's literally consuming me, right? So the focus, the vision of the change of focus is so beautiful, dear listeners, because it tells me that at any moment, if it's snowing outside and I'm spiraling down, I can always catch a snowflake and smile.
When you think about connection, we think that Christmas connects families. We think that the holidays connects people because of the music, the joy, etc. But what happens between, those days between now and New Year's, we're all happy, et cetera, et cetera. And New Year's happens, and oh my gosh, for the corporate work world, we don't have a holiday until May. That's 5 months out. We need to have some way of connecting by taking a day off somewhere in between, connecting with your family. And when you think about shifting this focus, I'm about staying emotionally present.
Yes.
Feel the emotion, stay in the emotion, but don't get stuck in that emotion.
Not in the emotions that spiral down.
Correct. Right. But at the same time, it's reaching, having somebody that you can talk to, not being embarrassed about, but just say, hey, this is what we're going through. It's, I hear you. Tell me more. I want to understand. It's staying present with someone else to connect. But here's something I don't think we do enough of. We're not like little kids. We don't practice curiosity. When you think about connecting, it's like, well, what was that like for you, Kenya? Or help me understand what you needed in that moment. Mm-hmm. These are empathy type stuff to help practice a curiosity instead of assuming this guy is a person or a jerk or whatever. It's curiosity keeps a relationship alive, especially if you've been hurt, right?
Every relationship.
Yeah.
Every and any relationship.
Well, it's like presents. How curious did we get? Okay, what did you get? What did you get? My family didn't like me too much sometimes on Christmas because I can look at a gift and I say, I know what you got me. And they'll play it off. And then when I open it, see. So I learned not to run the surprise. And I think sometimes we jump to assumptions that hurts not only ourselves, but other people, when we just need to stay curious. And don't jump to assumptions or conclusions of what's in the package.
I just love everything you said so much. And I want to remind our dear listeners that curiosity is also a muscle. That you don't go from 0 push-ups to 100. If you lost that childlike vibe of, ooh, I wonder, the wondrous spirit, it's a great moment right now as you're listening to this to put something in the mirror of your car, of your bathroom. Be curious. Just the awareness of, wow, I wonder. Our language, I wonder. And here's the thing. If we and you and we and I can remember to shift from the judgment to curiosity, we will find that our self-love raises, because there's no judgment happen outside of self. If I am passing judgment, you can rest assured that I'm judging me. That the inner critic's voice is taking over. Yeah. And I am putting myself, I can't believe this, and I didn't do that, and whatever. In the little things, in the season, ooh, I know it was great, but I didn't get to fix exactly what I want. I didn't fight exactly the gift, but this is like we over explain because of our idea that, my friend, that right there, that is the trauma loop. That's the inner child saying, you're not enough. You did everything, but you still didn't hit the right spot. And I'm just telling you right now, it's a lie. Listeners, if your inner critic keeps telling you in the loop of your greatness that you actually didn't do the thing, that you didn't reach, just remember, that's not you. That's the inner critic. You are wonderfully and beautifully made. You are a masterpiece. And you're also an work in progress as you go through life, becoming, choosing that better choice. Like right now, my challenge and my gift, our challenge is our gift. Choose to be curious. Choose to be loving. Choose to start a new year with the possibility of receiving and giving. I wonder, how would it be if 2026 there's more love and more connection and more surprises, and you let your body actually express like a child receiving a puppy in Christmas, like, oh my gosh. Allow yourself to feel good.
The thing about where my mind goes to on connection is Christmas is over. Our families go back to where they go. And I once thought that during this time frame, suicide rates rise because of it. And, despite that common belief that suicide rates rise during the Christmas season, I found that research finds the opposite. Suicide incidents often dips around December, including Christmas Day, and yet we see a rebound after the holidays. So for, veterans and military families who face unique relational purpose-laden challenges, that post-holiday period, when things seem to, start to fade, they can be vulnerable sometimes. But while the Christmas spike myth isn't accurate, the risk does not vanish. What I'm trying to share with our listeners and viewers, Kenya, is the fact that, instead of just focusing around holidays as events, we need to build those daily habits of connection. Exactly. Not just around big moments. It's connection's not preserved by grand gestures. It's the small things that says I'm here and we're still us. So oftentimes what I tell blended families that have children that come from the other parents, I say do a family check-in. Yeah. The day they get back, do it at night. Be able to have a way that everybody gets to have a piece of say in and checking in with the family. But you can do that on a daily basis as a married couple as well. I tell men all the time, date your wife. You think, well, I get rejected. Okay. Are we building connection with her and creating safe environments in order for her to be able to come around? But do those couple check-ins. Just because we just had a major holiday doesn't mean that we stop building connection and stop having the joy because we don't have, what's that old saying that the past is past and the future is the future, but today's a gift because it brings a present. I probably butchered that, but I think you get the general idea. It's a gift, right? So staying
and it's connected. Only now. The gift of present is only now. You don't make decisions for the future. You can cast visions, and please cast visions. I encourage you to cast visions. However, in this moment, is your actions and your being matching the vision that you just casted? Right? If I want more love, if I want more connection, if I want more intimacy, if I want more curiosity, how is my state of being? How is my frequency? And I am not telling my dear listeners to fake. I don't believe in faking. I believe in that authenticity is the highest vibration, 100%. However, once you had your shakedown, okay, let's shake off the anger, let's just punch the pillow, whatever you do, whatever is your tool, take a shower, change your state, put a lipstick on, brush your hair, whatever that you did, you come back to choice. Truly, you come back to choice.
What do we choose? And that's important, because sometimes we feel like, okay, do I have a choice?
You choose the frequency that matches your vision.
Oh, but my vision, Kenya, is like 2026 is going to be in the sewer. That's my vision. So we go with that frequency?
No, it's not. I double, triple dog dare you that is not your vision. Is the vision that you heard. Is the vision that is around you on TV, on social media, on politics, but it's not your vision. If you consult your inner self, if you consult all parts of you, including your dreamer, your childlike, your teenage-like, whatever age you're at, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 70, I don't care. I know that your vision is for a better future, because that's how God created us.
It's easy to have the choice. It's easy to sit on the couch and eat unhealthy food and gain a bunch of weight, and our outlook is going to be as such.
Yeah.
But it's learning to have the muscle of pushback. It's learning to have the muscle of being able to have a powerful choice. And, sure, we have problems and issues, but here's the thing that I think about: connection is the oxygen of the soul, right? 100%. It steadies us when life shakes. It anchors us when pain rises. Connection doesn't require perfection. It only requires presence. And so it grows where honesty replaces hiding, where grace replaces judgment, and where we choose to keep showing up even when it would be easier to pull away. So if you're hearing or viewing this, please understand that connection is a choice you make every day. You can choose to reach out. You can choose to be known.
Yeah.
You can choose to stay in the room where fear tells you to run. Because, healing happens in connection, and hope grows in connection.
Yes.
And that strength you think you've lost often, it returns the moment someone sits beside you and says you're not alone. What is it that we feel like compelled to say something at a funeral, or we go to the hospital, when the connection is just to hold on to people who hold space for your heart and be present,
right.
For someone else. That's how we build lives that last. That's how we stay connected. Yeah. Any closing thoughts from you, Kenya?
100%. There's something you said that really catched my heart, because if somebody's listening to this and they are really not in a good state, I just want to offer you not just love, compassion, but empathy. That I'm not telling you that you can choose and miraculously would happen like this, though it could. But when you surrender the how to the Holy Spirit, now we're in business. Now we're embracing faith. Now you're embracing the vision that that could be a better future. I know that everybody feels this way, because you and I and we are humans. So humans are always searching for a better version of themselves, for a more genuine connection. For if you're really toned down to and peel every layer, the bottom layer is, I want to be loved, and I want to love, and I want to love deeply, and I want to feel this awe, this brightness, this vibrancy of life. And there's nothing wrong with you. If you're listening to this, there's nothing wrong with you. You've been programmed. You've been in a trauma loop. And this is why Coach is so committed to give you tools that every time you tune in, you will find that we have been praying for you. We have been casting a vision for this podcast to reach you and those that really needed to feel not just encouragement, but to put you in the seat of creation of you and God. You are to do this. That's why you came to earth, to spread love and to bring the kingdom. This, whatever is your denomination, whatever is your religion, that's not what we're talking about. We're talking about what makes us human. You see somebody loving and serving, you see you. You see yourself. Something lights up. So the best action, 3 steps. Decide that you shift focus. Shift into a frequency of love, giving, connection, whatever is the frequency, and then go to action. So the best thing that I would suggest all of us, especially if you're going through a time of, I just don't know what to do, it's not staying at home, it's going to serve anywhere. When you serve, the focus is immediately out of you, the darkness, the problems, into, wow, a fellow human is in a different state, and I'm actually able to give. That, my friend, is a moment of empowerment.
You know, I so appreciate those 3 bullet points that can help, and I can't help to sum this up in faith-based style, right? Yes. My acronym that I created for the word faith, FAITH, right? Mm-hmm. I hold true to this. Forging attitude and trusting Him. It's always about fortitude, forging my attitude, right? Into what? Into trusting Him.
Yes.
You know, it's believing that we have this choice of connectivity, but oftentimes I've got to forge my attitude and trusting Him that what I do may or may not produce fruit from the other person, but at least I'm trying to build that connection. And so I know Christmas is over. New Year's is coming. Kenya and I are excited about this new year for you and for us, and some great things are coming. So still continue to subscribe, spread the word, have others join our network.
And this is the last podcast of the year. So Steve, let's finish together. Let's hold hands. Finish together. Thank you so much, dear listeners, for being with us the entire year. One more year. We have so much love and faith that this coming year is going to be even brighter, bigger, full of love, connection, and faith.
Stay connected.
Stay connected.
Until next time, take care.
So much love.
Thank you for tuning in to today's episode on Coach Soul. As we wrap up, we want to remind our listeners of a few key points. This podcast is for informational purposes only and does not substitute professional medical advice, diagnosis, or treatment. The content shared here is based on professional opinion but may not apply to everyone's situation. Always consult with a qualified healthcare provider before making changes to your mental health care. If you're in a crisis, please seek immediate professional help or contact a crisis hotline. Listening to this podcast does not create a therapist-client relationship. For personal advice, please consult with your licensed mental health professional in your area. Remember, your mental health journey is unique. While we hope this information is helpful, it is crucial to work directly with the qualified personnel for your specific needs. Thank you again for tuning in to Coach Soul, and we'll see you next time.